Hi, in this video, we'll talk about how Teamwork Server provides a team-based modeling environment. In our demo, we'll be using BP Teamwork Server and Business Process Visual Architect. Basically, we'll cover 3 topics. We'll begin by briefly introducing how Teamwork Server works. Then, we'll talk about how to set up Teamwork Server, like how to download, configure it, and import the license key. Next, we'll look into what we can do with Teamwork Server to facilitate a team-based modeling environment. Teamwork Server is based on an offline working model. When you check out a project from the server, basically you download a copy and store it on your local machine. Your machine could be a PC, Mac, Linux box, or laptop. So if you're working at your client's site or on a plane and do not have connection to your office server, you can still continue with your work. You just need to commit the changes back to the server when you return to your office. And then other project members can pull this updated copy from the server to their local machines. Later on, we'll see a demo on how to do this. Teamwork Server also keeps old versions of your file. Every time you commit changes to the server, it is considered to be a revision. Say 3 or 6 months later, if you want to review one of the older revisions, you can just select it in the list and the server will reconstruct the diagram for you. Apart from keeping all revisions, Teamwork Server also offers the ability to compare revisions side by side. Teamwork Server is one of the modules within VP Server. So to download Teamwork Server, you would need to download VP Server. On this note, let's briefly introduce what VP Server is about. VP Server includes Teamwork Server, Floating License Server, which provides licensed access up to a fixed number of concurrent users. Update Server, a server that sits on your LAN to help users bring their software up to date more quickly rather than updating through the internet. A Lab Review Server, which provides a platform for users to give and receive comments from each other. Okay, we've just finished our quick run-through on VP Server. As for persistence options, there's an internal database bundled in VP Server. But if you already have an existing database system, you can use that too. We support Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL, and PostgreSQL. For our demo, we'll be using the internal database. As for downloading Teamwork Server, if you have purchased license already, you can download it from our online customer service center by going to this link, cs.visual-paradigm.com. If you haven't decided to buy yet, you are welcome to download it from our download page by going to www.visual-paradigm.com/download/vpts.jsp. We offer an evaluation period of up to 30 days without limit. After downloading BP Server, we unzip it, then run the startup script. Next, we access VP Server via a web browser. Select the Teamwork Server module, configure the persistence settings, import the license key, and you can also install VP Server as a service, which allows it to automatically start up when the machine is booted. You don't need to manually run the startup script. Let's see how it works. We'll show you how to download an evaluation copy. To begin, go to our company's website, www.visual-paradigm.com. Then open the products page. Click on Teamwork Server. Then go back up to the top to open the Downloads page. Select the appropriate installer option. Click the Try It Free button. After the download completes, you get a zip file. The file name reads something like this: VP Server 32-bit Windows In case you're wondering, apart from Windows, VP Server also runs on Linux and Mac. Then we unzip the file here. You should end up with a folder named VP Server containing extracted files. Currently, we're in the Downloads folder. If you want, you can cut and paste the VP Server folder to another location, but for simplicity, we'll just leave it here for now. Double-click to open it. Go to the Scripts folder. Run the startup script. Once it's started, go to a web browser and access the server by going to localhost:1999. Note that the default port number is 199. It should take you to the installation page. Enter your organization's name. Enter an administrator's password of your choice. Then click Select Module to go there. There are 4 modules within VP Server, as we mentioned earlier. For our demo, just select Teamwork module. Next, we'll configure database/module. You can use the localized one or what we refer to the internal database earlier. Or you can change to other popular database like Oracle or MySQL. For simplicity, we'll just use localized. Next, go to Configure module. Up here, you will need to specify the path to store your repository. By default, we'll put it in the VP Server folder, but you can change it to other location if you want. We'll now import the license key. Click and select the license key file. Basically, you'll get the license key via email from us. Click Finish. Normally, it takes about a minute to complete the server setup. Let's go to the login page by clicking this link here. Login as admin. Here, you can configure the server. Now back to the scripts folder. You can shut down the server by double-clicking the shutdown script. After which, if you return to the browser and try to access the server again, you will not be able to. As mentioned earlier, you can also run the server as a service. Just double-click the install service script, and next time, when the machine is rebooted, the server will automatically run. Basically, you'll be doing 2 things to configure the Teamwork server. 1. Adding members or users to the server. You can add as many as you want. There's no limit in terms of license. 2. Creating projects. But this is optional only because you can always create a project and import it from a client later on. Let's go see a little demo on this. Back in the administrative page, click Users and then Add User. Let's enter John Lee as an example, then his email address, and set a password for him. Grant him rights to create, update, and delete projects. Click Save. Let's add another user. Enter Mary Wong, her email address, and set a password for her. Again, grant her rights to create, update, and delete projects. Click Save. Note that you can always edit later on. If you go to the corner here, you can also choose to make use of LDAP server for authentication instead. Now, to configure projects, click Projects at the top. Click Add Project. After you enter your project name, a default project directory will be generated. Down here, you can add project users, but we're going to skip those now because we'll cover them when we talk about importing projects. Next, we'll talk about things that you can do with Teamwork Server. They include Import Project, which is sending a project to the server, Checkout Project, to get a copy to your local machine to work on, commit changes, which is to send changes from the local machine back to the server, update changes to update the local copy with what's currently on the server, manage files other than the diagrams, support documents such as a sales order template or a checklist. Finally, we'll talk about conflict detection among different diagram versions and how to resolve when it occurs. After setting up and configuring the server, we are ready to connect to it using a client. A client pretty much can be any product within the Visual Paradigm product suite, such as VPUML, Business Process Visual Architect, Database Visual Architect. And in this demo, we'll be using Business Process Visual Architect to connect to the server and see how it works. First, you'll start your Teamwork client, which is BP Visual Architect. Then, you can import the current project or a VPP file. Note that it's more common to import projects from the client end to the server rather than creating projects directly on the server. That's because it's more likely that users begin some initial work in the client, and as it gradually takes shape, they then decide to formalize it by creating a Teamwork project, and during the import, you can set the access permissions as well. We're now in the Teamwork client, BP Visual Architect, looking at the Fire Safety Department project. First, click Team, then open Teamwork client. In here, enter the host name, which is localhost. We'll log in as John Lee here, a user we added earlier. Click OK to connect to the server. Next, Manage Project. But since there's no project configured on the server at the moment, we'll click OK to skip this and proceed. Click the Import Project to Repository button. At the top, you can import the project currently opened, create a new one, or choose an existing project. At the bottom, you can specify who can access the project. For example, John has permission to read and update a project. We can add Mary and grant her permission to read only. For now, let's just add her for read and update too. You can also put down some comments. For example, type in initial commit, click OK, then it'll send the project to the server and automatically load it in your project list on the left. Click Open Project in the corner to open the project. The diagram should look the same at this point. The only difference is that the project is now connected to the server. You can make changes and then commit the changes back to the server or get updates done by other members through the server. After importing the project is now ready for other members to check out. You would get the project from server, manage project, and then check out the project. Let's see how it works. Since we're going to demonstrate a collaboration between two members, we have two instances of Business Process Visual Architect open side by side. On the left is the one in which we did the importing earlier. On the right, we have Mary Wong logged in as another member. Let's maximize this window. For Mary to check out a project, click Team, open Teamwork Client. In here, enter the host name, username and password. Click OK. That will take us to the Manage Project screen. Select the project in our example, Fire Safety Department. Click the right arrow. Click OK. Then the Fire Safety Department project is loaded in the project list. Click Open Project. Now the project is open locally on Mary's machine. To recap, we have two users logged into two instances of Business Process Visual Architect, and both have checked out the same project. After a checkout, eventually we'll come to a point where we commit changes back to the server. First, you would modify the project, then commit the project. And during the commit process, you would preview the changes in the commit dialog box. Let's see how it works. Under John's login, we'll now make a change and then commit that change. Let's maximize the window first. For example, we'll make a change to this task here. We'll change next week to next month. Let's also change the color of this task over here to pink. Go to the toolbar at the top, click Team, Commit. In the Commit dialog box, you will see that we've changed the color, the caption of the task here. The current name is Select Inspection Cases for next month. It was Select Inspection Cases for next week before. If you click the Compare button, you will be shown the comparison visually. On the left is the copy from the server. On the right is the copy from the local machine. If the change will be fine, click OK to commit to server. Now that the change is sent back to the server, let's go back to the client under Mary's login. You can see that the task still reads next week and the color hasn't changed. It is expected because we haven't done the updating yet. Similar to commit, to update changes, you will select to update a change and have the opportunity to preview changes before actually downloading to the local machine. Let's see how it works. Okay, remember we did the commit on the left earlier under John's login. Now let's go to the right to Mary's login. The diagram should still show the old values. Go up to the toolbar and click Team, Update. In the dialog box, you see the potential changes. The new name on the local copy would become Select Inspection Cases for next month. If you click the Compare button, you can see a visual comparison. On the left is before the changes, and on the right is after the changes. If the changes would be fine, click OK to actually bring the update to the local copy. As you can see, the changes have now been reflected on Mary's machine. Apart from diagrams, you can add other support documents to Teamwork Server, which works like central file repository. For example, a sales order template, a checklist of some sort. Once a file is added to Teamwork Server, you can make a reference to it within a diagram. Let's go to the demo part now. To add a file to Teamwork Server, go to the Teamwork Files pane. If it's not currently shown, select View, Panes, Teamwork Files. In here, click the plus button to open a file chooser. Select the file, click Open. The copy then gets sent to the server. Now we want for this data object, checklist, to make a reference to this file. Click the reference icon and select Add File. In the References tab, click here. Go to the Project Files folder. Select that file, click Open. Click OK. From now on, if you place your mouse over this object and click the reference icon, you will see the file name in the list. Select it and it will open the document for you as a reference. So the collaboration we've just seen so far is pretty ideal. Someone makes changes, then another person updates the local copy in a very neat order. Unfortunately, we live in a non-ideal world. That's why we're going to look at conflict detection and resolution next. Since Teamwork Server operates under an offline work mode, members can check out and edit the same project concurrently. With this flexibility, what happens when the same element gets edited at the same time by more than one member? For example, one member changes it to next month and another changes it to next 2 months. When they commit change to the server will detect a conflict because there are two persons making changes to the same element at the same time. When alerted by the system during a commit process, in order to resolve, you can choose to overwrite. Overwrite means to use your new values to replace the servers. Or you can choose to revert. Revert means disregarding your value change and use whatever is on the server. To demonstrate the conflict scenario, we would need two client logins again. Let's go to the left first. For example, we change this task from next month to this month. Then we commit the change to server. Now move to the other client. Let's say Mary didn't know that John already updated the server's copy with this change. So what she's looking at is an older version. Let's say she happens to be editing the same element. She changes it from next month to 1 month. She then clicks to commit her changes to the server. In the dialog box, as she may not be aware of the conflict reported at the bottom here, she clicks OK as usual. No worries. The system will explicitly prompt her to resolve the conflict. The conflict is here. Currently, Mary has changed the value to 1 month. The original value is next month. The conflicting value is this month, which was an update from John, and it is the server's most recent version. Let's just say that we decided that this month is better. Click Revert to keep the value from the server. Click OK to commit the change. Back in the diagram, we can see that the value is reverted from the servers to this month. So it's quite easy to resolve conflicts detected. To finish off this video, we'd like to bring your attention to the products that we've used in the demo. We used VP Teamwork Server Corporate, which provides a collaborative modeling environment, keeps all diagram revisions, manages files, and has the conflict detection functionality. It costs $2,999 US for the server itself, or you can buy it with maintenance plan at $3,600 US. The maintenance plan is on a yearly basis. It includes technical support by email, phone, and remoting your machine. The maintenance fee also covers version upgrade during the period. For example, you bought version 5.3 with maintenance plan, and within that year, 5.4 comes out. Then you will be entitled to upgrade to 5.4 with no extra cost while you're within your maintenance period. There are different payment options to choose from, such as credit card, check, or wire transfer. You're welcome to check out our online store using this link here. The client software we used earlier in the demo is called Business Process Visual Architect, or BPVA for short. It's the modular edition. It works with Teamwork Server to share your work with other team members. It allows you to draw a business process diagram and define business process. You can also export diagrams to various image formats. The software itself costs $99 US only, or you can purchase it with maintenance plan at $118.50 if you like. Similarly, for payment, we accept credit card, check, or wire transfer. For details, please check out our online store using this link. And if you have any questions about installing or using Teamwork Server, please feel free to contact us. You can contact our support team by going to this link, www.visual-paradigm.com/support/technicalsupport.jsp. Thanks for watching.